Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno video for you today. And if you haven't noticed already, we're going to be playing as the 35th Air Assault. So, right off the bat, using a lot of airborne troops in these MI8 rockets. Great thing about these helicopters, they have 20% ECM attached. Going to be really bold, try and go for Charlie. So, what we're going to do at the start is helo drop some infantry into their back areas, try and cut them off early. SPG, cut off his infantry from coming too far down, and the plan is to land behind. But we see some Super Pumas here doing drops. So, not wanting to just drop where he's dropping his infantry, we're going to change to some further back points in the objective. He didn't land his infantry here, so we are able to drop in this area. And we are also getting some nice rocket shots on the infantry here. One of our helicopters goes down. Rolling threes though, so I am gonna go ahead and decide to press my other MI8 towards those. So far, the start isn't looking that great, but we do get some infantry in his rear here. The other infantry can then push up to further cut him off. And we got a unit of infantry that's gonna sneak into those buildings. Two T-64s that I bought to destroy any ground forces of significance. And we see they're rolling here, trying to get a shot off, but the 20% ECM really doing wonders there. Going to be able to unload, and then we're going to try and move the infantry across to destroy that unit. Using the helicopter here just to kill some rear line units, as now our infantry is in place. Getting some nice kills on him unloading his infantry here with our MI8. Helicopter did end up going down there to a bomber, but you'll see our infantry now getting into position. Unfortunately, we do miss the shot there, and the rolling threes are actually going to be able to get away. So, unit here holding up all these Gazelle cannons, allowing me time to move up my meta squads. My teammate here really should be moving up his infantry as we have clear uh, basically a clear path to all these buildings, which is basically what I wanted with my helicopter start. Trying to retreat this MI8 so that we can repair them in the future. But now I'm just going to concentrate on securing all these buildings since I know the opponent has nothing there. And then I'm going to make sure that these are clear before I move up this T-64. See, already getting a meta squad for this building so that we can kind of shut down his way into here. Desaniki gonna be cutting off some fire teams in the Bradleys, doing exactly what we wanted them to do. Unfortunately, though, all the firepower here gonna be able to cut them off. So just have one more infantry squad here that's gonna pretty much try and hold that flank. Infantry ends up going down here, but our meta squad able to get into position, and sure enough, we spot the rolling threes again. Do nail one there. Moving up the other metas so that we can get vision in this building as he retreats further away. And we're in the perfect position here to finish that off. So other Desaniki here, able to start killing off some of these Bradleys. Fortunately gonna miss that shot there. And all this firepower gonna be able to suppress my Desaniki. Trying to get one more Bradley. Do get another Bradley, so he's more than paid himself off. And we're moving up some supplies. It was originally going to be for the T-64 here, but I believe two tow missiles or two Milan 2s actually hit the T-64 before I could smoke him off. The other one has now moved up to a good position over this field. And I'm going to change my supply to actually repair my helicopter here, as we have a Desaniki and a BMP-2. or BMD2 that's going to move to this area to try and take out the Milan teams. So really few units now, but we know basically this whole area is clear besides the Milan teams here. And the only huge problem we have is all these Gazelle cannons that are lurking around. So bought some BDRM Strela 1s with some supply so that these can basically reload on the spot. Unfortunately, though, the accuracy on these not that great at 45%. Seem to miss every shot. Should be more like 10%. But needless to say, all the helicopters going to start going towards my line, so going to move these little Strela units to try and start taking out some of these Gazelles. This is a problem with the T-64 because if he just rushes over this and swarms it, he'll be able to get shots on target. So going to attempt to smoke that off to block one side. And we're going to start shooting some with our Strelas. As you see, Strelas coming in, nailing these helicopters. But just as we thought, he did get behind my tank there, and he was able to kill it off. So, a bit tragic there, as our front line is starting to fall apart. We did take out the Milan teams here with support from our helicopter, and our AA just getting resupplied and reloaded before we push it back up to take out some more of these Gazelles. BMD2 though, taking out all the infantry here, snipe another Gazelle as we're just fast moving these up the road, forcing him to retreat. And we have some Iglas just for better accuracy that's going to sit in these buildings in case I do get kind of pushed out here. AMX going to cut off my resupply route. So going to move these Strelas to the other side of the building so that the AMX 10RCs cannot snipe these units. And our Metis now getting to a defensive position on this side. So Metis team, not quite the best vision over the open field here. So it's going to be a little difficult to get shots on. And BMD2 with the 2 front armor there, not going to be enough to protect against the Gazelles. So now I'm just rushing the Mi-8 TV to start taking out some of these AMXs with their rockets, and we're forcing the Gazelle cannons back with our Strelas as we're slowly pushing up our Metis team to the edge. So making sure to keep supply close to these units, and just going to test out the AA here with the Mi-8, as I do know that I took out the 2 Rolands, so might be able just to kill some units. See some reinforcements here coming in. Gonna start to unload some rockets on those. Fortunately, don't really get the kill there. Gonna change targets to the other one, do get the kill on that one. And since we're basically out of rockets at this point, we're gonna pull back and land it here to wait and get a supply helicopter for that. As you see, we have another Mi-8 coming in, followed up with a CV to try and capture the zone. Moving some Desaniki to these buildings to make sure that I'm not going to be cut off from the right side. And we have some more Metis teams now coming up to the front, as well as a Conquer squad, just for a little bit more range over the open field here. So he'll have great vision. So you see our 1 Metis team has now moved far enough up to be able to start to get control of this area. BDRM moves in. Unfortunately, he still has a CV in here somewhere. Got a little too bold with that, and we end up losing it. So as he has no AA, I'm just rushing this helicopter straight to this area so I can unload it in his back line. Just basically force him to have to deal with infantry behind him, which I'm sure he was not expecting. as the Gazelle cannon swarm starts to come in. And you'll see now we're going to start hunting his units along that tree line. And I have some recon coming up in the Mi-24K here. And we're going to move up our Eagle squads just a little bit so that we can kind of force these Gazelle cannons back. Do get one of the tow vehicles there. And we see the other M901 ITV just sitting here. So going to start moving the infantry towards that. Desaniki going to spot some Jaeger Afklare. And our Mi-24K is going to provide us with great vision over this area. Able to get some conquer shots on target. Metis should be able to deal with the AMX-10 there, along with the Mi-24K and the Conquers, which is going to kill that off pretty easily. And you'll see our Eagle is starting to get in range, but he is going to back off with the cannons. So a good spot for my CV would have been this tree line right here, as I could have hit it instead of the open. But I wasn't factoring in that he actually had the AMXs here. But on the right, getting some recon now so we can spot some of these units he has hidden in these different tree lines. And as soon as we spot those, the Metis can start to unload. As our helicopter also forcing the AMX-10s back. Do have a lot of artillery landing on my units now. And you'll see I'm just scouting for a CV here. But don't see a CV, so we're going to pull back and getting some more infantry to land behind his line. Do see some AA now showing up in the rear. And a little bomber there flying above us. So able to get some great line of sight on all these AA units in his rear line. He does take the bait and follow my Mi-24K, and that allows my AA to really open up on him. Able to take out pretty much all those cannons. And here, unit firing upon my Metis team. Can't really get line of sight on that. Trying to attack move, but having a lot of trouble getting stunned. And we see a bunch of enemy artillery now landing on our AA. As the enemy team here really seeing the problem with my push into their back zone and trying to stop that with just a massive amount of artillery. Pretty much destroyed my AA there. Mi-8 rocket here, gonna be fired at by the Roland 3. Unfortunately though, I don't notice that as I'm concentrating on this side at the moment. Ordering up some more AA, and you'll see now I've noticed pulling back the Mi-8, trying to get away from the Roland 3 here. Fortunately, gonna get a hit on target there, take that out. Do have the Mi-26 with the 6,000 supply just sitting in the rear in case any of my helicopters need repairs. And you'll see our infantry starting to cut off his supply line here. Able to kill off a Leopard 1A5. And our other infantry going to be searching for the CV, as I did do a whole loop with my infantry here and could not find a CV. So really confused on where that is at the moment. Do spot some AA in the rear here. Plane going to be coming in for my helicopter. And with the AMX here, we don't want our infantry just to be fired upon. So we're going to retreat that into the deep woods. So reinforcement wise, getting a Conquers to come up here to start to deal with some of these units that are a little bit further away. We are repairing our Mi-24K. Ally here did sneak a CV into the zone, so we know that there actually isn't a CV here. So now we are sitting at a nice +6 Gonna be retreating the Desaniki here, as I just don't want them to die to the Jaeger, and gonna move up the recon helicopter to help with that engagement. See, we have another Conkers coming up, as well as a T-64 BVK, just so that I can kind of sit in the corner of this zone, deal with some of these units. So, starting to attack with some Leopard 1A5s on this side now. Conkers, though, gonna have something to say about that, as he's just coming right down the road. Conker's gonna finish him off. And now our AA starting to get back to the front. And a lot of units here, including a 2A3. Desaniki not going to be able to survive that. Do see the CV coming in, though. So I'm going to use my other infantry squad that I hid on the other side to go and find the kill on that. As the Roland 3 did do some damage to my Mi-24 here. So going to go to low altitude just so I can sit there. Do get the shot on target on the CV there. Able to take back full control of the zone. And Metis now just going to be engaging the 2A3. Did get a nice side shot there. And now the Conker's going to be in range to start getting some shots on as well. Unfortunately, both missiles there miss. Jaeger getting too overconfident, pushing out in the open. I can just easily mop that up. And I'm just spotting kind of what he has over here with my infantry. Still has the AMX hiding. Conker is going to be trying to get another hit on the 2A3. So our opponent is just happily letting his tank sit there and take a lot of damage. One more shot should be able to finish him off. Sure enough. And we get the side shot that we need. Now I have a Hind coming up, which can easily help deal with these Jaeger Afclair as I'm moving my infantry back to cut off any CV. Getting a lot of rockets on target there. Able to easily take those guys out. And some artillery now starting to hit my allies' command vehicle there. Mi-24 rocket here, just going to sit above, gun down the infantry, as I know he doesn't have any AA to contest this. And now you'll see the mighty Ka-50 Akula showing up to the battle. As I know, his AA is weak where I was, so gonna be trying to help my teammate here first with it. Just gonna kind of sit him in the rear, as I don't necessarily need him at my front line yet. I am charging across some Spetsnaz GRU just to have vision over this field. I know there's some artillery here, so that's kind of my next target, as I don't need to push too far into this zone. And I'm going for backline action now. Preferably, I want to get infantry in this area so I can cut off his reinforcement road into the objective. Spotting Bradley now. Just going to do a lot of damage to my GRU unit. Trying to get the Metis in the building so that we can have line of sight. Going to be able to do that. Get a missile off. And the Bradley's going to go down with my Spetsnaz GRU surviving, so I'm going to pull that back to the supply vehicle here to repair, as I'm just charging my tank across. Another Leopard 2A3 shows up, able to kill off my infantry. I was moving up the supply there to resupply my infantry. And Mi-24K, going to spot the Chaparral here. Really crazy range on these things. So we're going to be careful with helicopter play in this area. As you'll see, I'm moving my Akula away now. It was basically to counter this 2A3, but we actually did damage it so much and force him to retreat, so I'm just going to keep him in the rear. See some mortars firing off in this area. and I'm using my big supply helicopter here as a helicopter supply point, as well as just to resupply some of these UAZs so that I can move them where I need them. So you'll see our GRU now fully healed. Buying up some more BDRM Strela 1s in response to the ATAS and Apaches that we're seeing. All the helicopter play of our opponents. This is going to be an issue as the Apache actually retreats, and my T-64 had its rear shown to the ATAS here. Going to try and move him into the smoke, but a Hellfire going to end up destroying me there. Do finally get a BDR Strela to hit, kill off the Apache there. And we see an Eagle flying above our line. And Strela gonna have one shot, make it count, and it ends up missing. So on this side now, trying to get some metis in this building, preferably so I can get here and cut off if he tries to retreat. Able to kill off the Martyr there. Got a Conquerors now that can kind of get and watch over this reinforcement road. And I'm moving my helicopters to support this area as the one Conquers is already kind of shutting down his transport options there. A lot of mortars coming in where I just unloaded my meta squad. So trying to get that as far away as possible, as they just took a lot of damage with that salvo. Conquer's trying to hit these Bradleys. Missed the first shot. Gonna move up the Akula now to deal with this. And the first missile is a dud. Second missile, able to find a Bradley there. Third missile, gonna be going for the other Bradley. And sure enough, Phantom comes in to try and deal with that. Doesn't do much damage though. And our AA ends up taking him out. So gonna pull back my Akula, just because don't want to take any more damage from that assault. Moving some supply here to resupply my metas. And our helicopters can just kind of freely fly around here. Iglis trying to kill the Alouettes, but our team gonna have enough for the victory there. As you'll see, got #1 in terms of kills on our team. Had quite a few losses though, and quite a devastating early game, but still we more than paid off for our losses, and we got our team the victory. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and y'all have a great day. I will catch y'all in the next one. Later.